to identify the external factors that lead to the most common reason of veteran homelessness in Curry County, Oregon. Substance abuse is the cause of veteran homelessness more than any other health-related issue alone. Substance abuse precedes homelessness, but is actually secondary dysfunction related to military trauma in the form of PTSD or MSD. This needs assessment seeks to identify the absence of services with the greatest potential for impact on substance abuse and trauma in veterans. Data collection process consists of interviews recorded with a standard cell phone app. This is later transferred to Maestra Suite. You can see the transcription happening here. Here is a sample of the final product. Target words are selected based on relevance to the term homelessness and categorized as 4 sets of descriptors along a continuum of homelessness and recovery for veterans. 3 interviews are completed, 2 with employees of Housing Urban Development Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing, and a licensed clinical social worker with the Department of Veterans Affairs. The key findings reveal a continuum of homelessness beginning with the origin of trauma. The most common secondary contributor is substance abuse. Another key finding is predictors of recovery, which are barriers or attributes of homelessness recovery. The final key finding is the necessary components to recovery that are currently available. Each question is to collect data on services in the community as related to the challenges of homeless veterans. Questions evoke responses that revolve around 4 key concepts, as you can see here. Words with similar meaning appear throughout the dialogue and are organized into categories according to the context of the interview on homelessness and how it seeks to identify areas of possible need and intervention to end homelessness. The best immediate solution is the grant per diem program. This provides transitional and housing support for homeless veterans. So this gives veterans immediate access to programs, services, safety, and housing. Housing has a direct correlation with healthcare treatment because once enrolled, there's access to all services and they are no longer transient. Ideas for a multifaceted approach are here to promote utilization of all services. This is the greatest predictor of housing stabilization. So the duration of latency before enrollment predicts the effectiveness of services recovery and the need for housing because that determines the amount of time that it takes for awareness of services to occur. The findings and follow-up discussion were over the phone and then emailed to the participants. Feedback on personal experience with military exits and processing illuminates an underlying problem with awareness of services for new veterans. This is agreeably a factor to the increased risk of homelessness. Access to information on services and government-funded studies helps identify existing services in the area. Data on successful interventions in other areas and services that are needed in Curry County. Additionally, the veteran social workers validate national office data and give valuable community or site-specific information on these mandated services. Hindrance is mostly the result of government regulations and restrictions. That is, veteran services are designed by policymakers to include government mandated provisions. So proposing new services for veterans is limited to legislative action by which the implementation depends on mandates and government officials. To avoid future hindrances, I would say take an alternative approach to the issue of awareness. With community-initiated veteran information adjacent to military out processing and exit. Addressing predictors of homelessness avoids subsequent hindrances such as the need for housing or the need for transitional housing. Conceptualizing and problem-solving abstract constructs of macro and meso level intervention is a developmental process. Furthermore, to design effective intervention to suit veterans requires understanding the parameters of the institution, the standards of conformity, and how to successfully approach the issue of mental health treatment. Veteran services in Curry County have an impact on homelessness, but increased awareness seems to be the vital factor in resource utilization. Communities can intervene with a thoughtful and multifaceted approach. Community-initiated awareness of services adjacent to federal mandates is the most effective way to promote enrollment and prevention of profound trauma after military exit. Veteran services awareness can be implemented in a variety of ways at the grassroots level and by community members.